Do, 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 do. A video in which I tied some bandanas as blindfolds over my face and attempted to record a live commentary as I drew without looking. But I forgot that my microphone wasn't recording. I didn't realize it, as I drew for 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 42 seconds. So now, with a little change of plans, I'm recording a commentary after the fact. But it's okay. The drawing turned out well. If you want to know what the drawing would have looked like, if I could have seen what I was doing, then just go ahead and look at any of my other drawings. I think it would have just been one of them, or something along those lines. Nothing too groundbreaking. In fact, this is probably more groundbreaking than my regular drawings, in the sense that this was probably 5 or 6 drawings all at once in my head, instead of just the one drawing it was in reality. I set out to draw for about 2 hours at once, at first I mean, but I got bored after about an hour and a half, and I had no idea how long it had been. I didn't know if it had been 10 minutes, or half an hour, or if it had been 5 hours, and I had forgotten to set the alarm on my phone. But it had been about an hour and a half, and I stopped at that point, and one of the most difficult things about drawing without looking is I have no idea how full of lines the paper is. Sometimes I feel like it's far more full, and then it's really quite devoid of any detail or anything. And when I did finally look at the end, I was pleasantly surprised this time. I think I found a sweet spot, a balance between paper size and pen or marker size and time spent on it. I was happy to see that there were some areas where it's very thick and detailed, and some areas where there are, a few less details. I'm not sure what else to say. In my mind, for a half of it, I was drawing like some weird robotic arm, and then I kind of switched to drawing a spaceship, and then maybe I was just drawing some weird landscape with maybe some clouds in the background, because I at no point did I actually ever remember what was actually on the paper. I just knew I was holding in my mind as the reality of the drawing, and sometimes I forgot what I had been drawing, so I just kind of started over, to be honest. I did have a vague idea of where I had been drawing, spatially on the paper, like the bottom left, the whole time I felt like was kind of a darker area, and then like the top right, the whole right side I felt like was a kind of a loopier, swoopier, curlier section, especially the top right. I knew I had drawn some clouds there. For about the first hour of this project, I listened to some Spotify-created Ultimate Road Trip playlist, which kept me going, but then I got really sleepy, and I couldn't tell why I was getting so sleepy. Maybe just sometimes music makes me sleepy, but I think it really was because I was sitting there for an hour with my eyes closed. And what do you usually do when you have your eyes closed for long periods of time? You sleep. And I guess that was just some sort of physiological response to having my eyes closed for so long. I even had some caffeine in me, and everything didn't matter. I was still nodding off. I was having a great time and everything, and it was almost a little bit frustrating to me how sleepy I was getting in the middle of this project. I mean, I tried switching up the music, some electronic music, some Chemical Brothers, some other stuff. At one point I wasn't listening to any music at all, and that even worked a little bit better. This project, as I mentioned at the beginning, was supposed to turn out a little bit differently. I was recording myself talking into this microphone the whole time I was drawing, and then it was supposed to be kind of, I was supposed to play back my live commentary over the video, sped up a little bit, kind of a weird combination of things that's hard to describe it up. Maybe I'll try it again later. Maybe not even with a blindfolded video, just a regular drawing video. But I had I had my microphone set up wrong, and I was blindfolded, so I couldn't see that my microphone was peaking terribly, and the onboard audio from my cameras is not great. As you'll see at the end here, there's a little bit of the audio included, which shows me taking off the blindfold and looking at the finished product. You can hear my air conditioning pretty loud in the background. It might not even bother you as much as it bothers me, but yeah, anyways. Also, at one point you can see here that I had set aside ahead of time a little bottle of red ink, a mug of water, some brushes, and some paper towels so I could try doing some red ink washes. And I had no idea how it would turn out, or I had no idea how messy it would be, and I didn't think ahead to how crazy and creepy it would look on my fingers if I got it all over my hands. But I was pretty happy with how the red turned out. It helped. I'll say it helped the whole drawing. I'm glad I used the red, and maybe I'll use it in more drawings even when I'm looking. Could be interesting. Anyways, thanks for watching, everyone. Try drawing blindfolded sometime. It could be good. You don't have to do it for an hour and a half like I did. Just try it for 10 minutes. I bet if you did it for 10 or 15 minutes, it still seems like a really long time. And it's kind of a pleasant surprise to see what happens after you take the blindfold off, to see how your perception of the drawing and reality collide. Anyways, here's a little bit of footage for what happened when I took the blindfold off at the end. All right, see y'all. Goodbye.
I love it. First of all, the red, oh my goodness. The red looks great. And all these little lines, I can't believe I didn't make a worse mess of this ink. This looks like straight up Kool-Aid. Very impressive. Oh, almost, I hit that fly and it flew away. Anyone else see that? It landed around my knuckle and then anyways. Can't live in the past, Peter. All right, I think that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody, while I wasn't watching, and I need to pose for a thumbnail, don't I? There we go. That's a good pose right there. Thumbnail? I can't see. All right, I don't know if that's even gonna work.